Okay, grade 10s, this is the midpoint formula, and we're doing this in class on Thursday, but this is pre-recorded in case you can't make class or you just need a bit of a recap. And we're going to go through it quite quickly so we can focus our energy on the questions. Let's start with a numerical example. Let's say you're given this point 2 and the y value is 3, and we're given another point that is at the value, let's call this one 8, and the y value is, I wish I could just ask you to pick a number. What do you reckon about the number? No, let's go for 15. How about that? Okay, and I asked you a simple question, which is, what is the value of, or what are the coordinates of this point here? And just think through it. This is midway, so this x value here is 2, and this x value here is 8. So what's going to be sitting bang in the middle between 2 and 8? Well, we're kind of finding like an average. How do we find an average? Well, we'd add these two together, 2 plus 8, and divide it by 2. 10 over 2 gives us 5. So we'd say, oh, that's great stuff. That value is 5. In other words, it's like an average, midway. Look, it's 3 and 3 that way. So let's do the same thinking on the other one. If this y value is 3 and this y value here is 15, how are we going to find the bit in the middle? Well, we're going to find that average, like the middle bit. So let's go, okay, well, 15 plus 3 gives us 18. So what's kind of in the middle? Well, we divided it by 2, so we get 9. Does 9 work? Well, this distance is 6, and this distance is 6, so that's 9. So in other words, what we do is, for the x part, you add the x's together and divide it by 2. Cool. Here's this part of our midpoint formula. Add the x's together and divide by 2. And for the y values, let's add them together and divide by 2. It's almost like, feels like an average type thing. So that's what we're going to do, and let's focus our energy on determine the midpoint of the line segment joining 2, minus 2, and 4, 6. Well, often we call the midpoint M. So for this one, our M is just, well, take the x values, add them together and divide by 2. Take our y values, minus 2, there it is, plus 6, and divide by 2. So our midpoint is 6 is 3, minus 2 plus 6, 4 over 2 is 2. Done between 2 and 4. No, between 2 and 4, I didn't need this formula for this, right? But between minus 2 and 6, maybe it was useful to have the formula. Determine the midpoint. Okay, that one you can do in the same way. Then we've got midpoints with unknowns. And to start with, I just want you to try these to go, well, if M is the midpoint, so if 1 minus 2 is the midpoint between A minus 4 and 4B, notice how I'm putting the midpoint in the middle. So we're saying 1 is the middle of A and 4. What must A be? That distance is 3, right? So this distance must be 3, so A is minus 2, because we've gone 3 left, or we've gone 3 right. And how we could show this in an equation is to say, well, A plus 4, when we take that and divide it by 2, we should get 1. And we could solve that equation. Now this was simple enough that we didn't need that, or the equation you might be more comfortable with. And so that seems simpler to you. Either way. Okay, for our B's, let's do it the second way and go, well, we know how to find midpoint. We'll go that plus that over 2 gives you that. So that is minus 4. The other that was B. When we divide it by 2, we get minus 2. Solve. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Minus 4, B equals 0. Or let's do it in our more intuitive way and say, well, if minus 2 is the middle of minus 4 and what? Well, we've gone, this is the y value, so we've gone 2 down to get to minus 4. So we must go 2 up to get to B, so B must be 0. Okay, there we go. That's the type of thing we're going to do. For these ones, B is the midpoint, so my suggestion is rewrite it out. So that's in the middle between A minus 5 minus 2 and C K5, and work it out from there. So you can go do a bit of a balance of the equation style and the more intuitive style. And some juicy questions for you to try are we want one kind of straight up one, and we want one that's like that and one that's a little bit different. You're welcome to do more. Yes, I must make solutions to all of these things, right? I'm not asking you to hand in because A, I'm trusting that you're doing it. That would honestly be one reason for you to hand in. And B, because I'm not too interested in seeing the layout of it yet. I just want to get you in and doing this. But ask questions, goodbye.